going to confess to you a bunch of things that are very hard to confess. Some of them are shameful, some of them are embarrassing, some of them are disgusting, and some of them are just dumb. Welcome back! My makeup might be kind of messed up because I just filmed a video that got very emosh involving messages from a medium that came directly from my great-grandmother that were really spooky and really tugged at my heartstrings. And that video is coming soon, so prepare yourself for it. Anyways, on to this one. I'm about to go to Australia. So just like a couple weeks ago, I really needed something lighthearted and chill and fun to shoot that's going to be easy to edit. So in honor of my new song, Honestly, and Honestly Encore, make sure to download and stream now if you haven't, I decided to be honest with you. I've noticed a lot of things about myself that are very strange, that if anybody ever really saw me doing them, I would be very embarrassed or again ashamed. So this video is my confessions. I think I did one of these I think it was one of my very first YouTube videos. I think it was. I'm going to put my first confessions video down below. I wonder what I said 4 years ago and what my life has been like since. Ugh. And real quick before we get started, a note from our sponsor. Thank you so much for letting me do sponsorships. Music is so expensive. A lot of you may remember from my fitness transformation video that I was going on about an app called Clue and how much it helped me. So if you didn't download it then, you should download it now because it has a lot of new amazing features. Clue is an app that helps you track your menstrual cycle and in turn your mood swings, your cravings, your weight gain, and it was really a game changer for me when it came to my mental health and my physical health. And now there's Clue Plus. Clue is still free for everybody, but Clue Plus gives you access to 2 amazing features, which are an enhanced analysis of your cycles and forecasts of what's coming up. So the enhanced analysis part of it is a full report of your cycle history, and if anything is out of the normal range of what you regularly are, Clue will alert you and then suggest what to do to get back on track. Now the forecast, as the name implies, helps you understand what's coming next. The more you use the app, obviously, the more accurate the forecast becomes. So it predicts your next cycle, PMS, ovulation, when you might be feeling certain things, from cramps to cravings to how your hair looks. It's nice to be able to look at the app and realize I'm not a disgusting, ugly piece of trash, I'm just hormonal. The subscriptions are super cheap and they help Clue with their mission on improving menstrual health and knowledge. And that's something that we're all talking about a little bit more, and I think that's great. So make sure to download Clue. If you've already downloaded Clue, check out the Plus features. I'm gonna leave it linked below. And back to regular programming. All right, let's start confessing. Now I've been making a list in my phone as they came to me. Like pretty much anytime I was alone and did something that made me think, oh wow, I'm so happy that nobody was around to see that, I put it down here. All right, here's a little confession for anybody who's interested in wifing me up. I don't know when this started, but I've been doing it for a while. If you ask me out on a date, say we make plans to go to a restaurant, I will, days in advance, pretty much as soon as we select a location, go to the website, look at the menu, and decide exactly what I'm getting. I'm a very anxious person. I wouldn't say that I'm socially anxious in particular, but my social anxiety is also crippling. It's funny because people don't realize that about me because I'm on camera and I'm very big and excited, and if you come to my meet and greets, I'm in my mode. But if you want me to die inside, just have me show up to an event alone or ask a waiter for something that they forgot. I have a hard time. Anyways, so one of my least favorite parts about especially first dates is that really weird, awkward moment when we both need to look at the menu and then it's weirdly silent and I can't read the menu while I'm thinking about the date. So what ends up happening is I end up just flipping pages and not actually looking at anything, and then end up saying, oh, I'll have the salad with chicken and then hope that they have a salad that has chicken on it. So now what I do is I look at the menu, I learn it, I decide exactly what I want down to the dressing. So when I'm pretending to look at the menu, I'm just telling myself over and over what I'm gonna order. Who wants to date me? Here's another confession. I would say a solid 80% of the time I have headphones in my ears. There's no music on. I just don't want anybody to talk to me. This is mostly true in Ubers. If I'm down by the pool and I'm laying out, that is my zen time. And I don't like when people talk to me during my zen time. So I put headphones in to let people know I'm not approachable. Now, if you approach me and I have to keep doing this, you're an asshole. This is one I probably shouldn't confess to on my largest platform, which is actually Musical.ly, so my second largest platform, which is YouTube. I have murder dreams almost every night. Actually, I did when I wrote that, but I haven't in a while, which means, I think it means that I'm like getting healthier or something. But for a very long time, very large stretches of time, every single night I go to bed, I'm going to have a murder dream. It's never me murdering though. And when I tell my therapist about my murder dreams, slyly tries to get me to admit that it's me murdering people in my dream, but it's not. And most of the time, it's not even people that I know that are getting murdered. It's just me as sort of a bystander watching people that I don't even know get murdered. Or if I do know them, it's generally one of my siblings that's getting murdered. They get really intense. There's a lot of really dark symbolism in my dreams that when I talk about them out loud, I can sort of dissect, but that's a different video. That's a different, I should do that video again. I did that a while ago. I should do it again. Oh, this one's embarrassing. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say it because that's what this video is about. I have a whole bunch of like sweetener. Hold on. I have a bunch of, this is just random assorted teas and stuff, but I have sweeteners and stuff also, and I haven't bought any of these. But if I go to like Chipotle or it's almost always Chipotle. Chipotle has sweeteners out by their forks and their spoons and their knives, and I steal them. I know a lot of people do that with like napkins or something, but like I steal sweeteners. And it's honestly not even really a cheap thing. It's when I'm at the store, I never think to get sweeteners. Like I've never once put sweetener on my shopping list. And I rarely use them. So whenever I go to Chipotle or something, I'll take like 3. And now I have like a collection of sweeteners. This is also very embarrassing. I'm starting to wonder if this video is a bad idea because it makes me look so cheap, which I am. But I still use somebody else's Netflix account. Upon first hearing that may not sound too bad. But I use one of your Netflix accounts. Well, I don't even know how long ago. At least 2 years ago, maybe 3. I used to use my family's Netflix account, and then one day it wasn't working because too many screens were using it at once. So I tweeted or Snapchatted or something, and this girl, Marissa, gave me her Netflix account. So to this day, I still use a subscriber's Netflix account. I mean this in the most humble way. I make too much money to not have my own Netflix account and to steal sweeteners. Speaking of, the sweeteners isn't the worst part though, actually. This one's worse. This one's so much worse. One time somebody came over and they noticed it and I was actually humiliated. So along with stealing sweeteners, sometimes I'll steal like plastic spoons or knives, which I have regular spoons and knives that I use and I put in the dishwasher, but sometimes it's nice to have plastic ones on hand. But one time I accidentally put one in the dishwasher, and then when I took it out, I was like, how the hell did this plastic fork make it through the dishwasher? So now I have a quite large collection of plastic forks, knives, and spoons that instead of throwing them away when I'm done with them, I put them in the dishwasher. Because why would I throw them away if they're still completely intact? That is so cheap. It would be one thing if I bought a bunch of plastic spoons and forks and put them in the dishwasher, but I stole them and I still put them in the dishwasher. But I'll tell you what, I never run out of silverware or plasticware. Oh, this one's sad. You know what? No, I did this recently. Sometimes, no, actually often, at the school cafeteria in college, I would oftentimes have to go alone. So I would get 2 plates of food and 2 drinks, and I would set up a plate across from me, and I would also put a backpack or something on the chair across from me, so it looked like somebody was eating across from me and they had just gotten up to get more food or a napkin or go to the bathroom or something. And then when I was done with my plate, I would switch them and I would eat the other person's plate too. And I told myself it was so that I wouldn't look like I was eating alone, but realistically, I wanted an excuse to have 2 plates of food also. This is one that I swear I started this trend. I don't do this that much anymore. No, I do. Sometimes I will send a text and then I will delete it immediately so that my brain thinks it didn't happen. If I'm eating something that I deem junk food, like a bag of chips or a cupcake, I will leave a little bit of it because then I can tell myself that it wasn't that bad because I didn't finish it. But realistically, if you eat an entire bag of chips except for like 2 chips, you know? But it makes me feel better in my head to know that I had the self-control to at least leave a little bit. I don't know if that's healthy. This is a weird one. I actually have no idea how much money I have. Like really none. Like I genuinely don't know. My business manager might be stealing all my money. Hi, Charlie. But I don't want to know. It makes me very anxious. Money makes me very anxious. It doesn't matter because I try to live so far below my means anyways. I don't buy designer things or nice cars. And I know that I have it so that like if something goes wrong, I know I have this nest egg that it's almost like getting an inheritance. Like if my career dies, then I'll get a sum of money. But it also really keeps me in the mindset of not letting money dictate my actions. Like I don't really know how much I make off of YouTube each month. I don't add up my brand deals. I know I have enough that when I have to write a check for a music video that I have the money to do it. But money does not dictate my actions. Money does not inspire me. Money does not run me. I'm not driven by money. So everything that I'm doing because I love it, not because I know how much money it's gonna bring me. When I write songs, I don't know how much my music makes. I have no idea if I'm even making my investment back on it, but I'm doing it because it makes me happy. And that's another reason I don't buy like designer things. I don't have designer shoes or bags or clothes. I don't have a nice car. I'll probably buy a house this year, but that's just practicality. I like spending money on things that mean something to me. So I would rather, instead of buying 2 Cartier bracelets, produce a song and a music video, you know? One time I had a boyfriend for 10 minutes because I thought that he was joking and he was serious. And then he sent me a relationship request on Facebook and I accepted it because I still thought he was joking, but then I realized he was serious. And then we broke up and he treated it as like a real breakup and we were only dating for 10 minutes. I talk to myself a lot. I said something about this on Instagram story the other day, but I'll just be walking around and say random shit. Or like if I'm just scrolling through on Instagram, I'll say the names out loud like Shane Dawson, Liza Koshy. Like I'll just like say names. It's really weird. Or if I walk into a room, I'll be like, why did I come in here? As if somebody's gonna answer me. Guys, I just got myself doing it. My card just got full while I was filming and I can't find any of my SD cards. And I was walking around going, but where could it be? Like, how am I missing all my SD cards? Just talking to myself. Oh, this one's embarrassing. This one goes with the I talk to myself. I will say I love you out loud. It's almost like a tit, but I'll say it alone to myself, or maybe not, it's not to myself though. That's why it's weird. Like I'm not addressing anyone. It's just something that like, it's like a compulsion almost where I have to say it out loud. It's really weird. I've been doing that since I was a kid too. Like that's a really, there's gotta be something to that, right? Speaking of loving myself, sometimes I stare at myself in the mirror for like hours. Not because I think I'm beautiful, not because I'm like, ooh, look at you. I'm just so fascinated with my own face in the lens of somebody else, what they're looking at in my face. Because really you look at yourself less than the world looks at you, and everybody else has a different perception of you than you have of yourself, and there's infinite realities and infinite versions of you because every single person that's ever laid their eyes on you or had any type of interaction with you has a version of you in their head. So I like to look at myself and try to think about all the different versions of myself that might exist and the things about me that somebody else might notice that I might not. Anyway, oh, this is another one. This is another eating one. Okay, say you have 10 donuts. I will eat a piece of all 10 donuts, which would equal multiple full donuts if you put it all together, but tell myself and truly convince myself that I didn't even eat a full donut. This one's also really embarrassing. I don't think this is something I do often, but it's something that I've done twice recently that I clocked myself on it and I was like, is this my lifestyle? Some things I'll still buy generic. In fact, I'm gonna do a video sometime where I taste test generic versus name brand food. I started that trend in my brain years ago and never did it, but some things genuinely taste better to me generic. And also, when it comes to things like medicine, the generic version has to be the exact form as the name brand version. And sometimes the difference in price is bonkers. Like, okay, usually pills like Tylenol, Excedrin will come in a bottle of 100 or 200 capsules, somewhere in that range. This is 1,000 capsules of ibuprofen, and it was $1 more than the name brand version that had 100 capsules. This is 10 times the medicine for $1 more. That's a no-brainer. Justin Bieber coming for your brand. Anyways, point is, so I still buy generic things, but oh god, this is so embarrassing. Say I have Excedrin, a bottle of Excedrin, and I run out of Excedrin, and then I go out and then I bought generic Excedrin. I put the generic Excedrin in the real Excedrin bottle so that if anybody like came over and wanted some Excedrin, it's the name brand bottle of Excedrin, even though it's the generic, it's And I also did that. I bought garlic salt the other day, and I bought the big one. That was the store brand garlic salt. And that one you can't really serve out of, but I poured it into a smaller bougie garlic salt that I bought before. So now it's in the bougie garlic salt container, but it's the store brand garlic salt. I pee in the shower, and if you say that you don't, you're lying, period. I pick my nose more often than I'd like to admit, but I genuinely enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. It feels good to release the boogies that are all up in your shit, and you just can't get it out by blowing it. I'm sorry, you gotta really get in there and peel it off these big ass nostrils. You see these nostrils? You know how many boogers this thing can make? I like my own Insta photos. And yes, I know that's the equivalent of high-fiving yourself. I think about what it would be like to have a penis at least a minimum of once a day. There is not a day that goes by that I don't imagine that I have a penis. And I don't mean in a way that I'm thinking like, I wonder what it's like to have a penis. Like, I imagine that I have a penis. And I'm not in any way confused about my gender. I am a cis woman. I know that I'm a woman, but I just always imagine having a penis. Okay, I do this thing, and I think I've talked about this before, and I'll probably talk about it again because I'm still looking for one other person that does it because I've yet to find one. And again, I thought this was something that was like so normal. Like, oh yeah, everybody thinks like this. Anyways, if something hurts on my body, I will imagine removing it very visually. Like if I'm having cramps is a good one. You can open up your body, take it out, and then lay it on the table and just let it constrict and convulse and contract on the table. And then I can focus all the pain I'm feeling right there. Or if you have a headache, you can imagine popping out your eyeball and then letting all the pressure come out of your eyeball socket. And then once all the pressure leaves, you take your eyeball and you put it back in, and then your head feels better. Or if you have knots in your muscles, you have really tight shoulders, you can imagine taking out your shoulder muscle, and then you see all the little knots in there, and you can really work in them. Or you take a meat tenderizer and pound them out. That's a really good one, imagining rubbing out all the little knots in your muscles right in front of you where you can think. But it also works for your brain. I have a lot of really anxious thoughts. Hi, have we met? Sometimes I'll close my eyes and I'll imagine anxiety to me, or the bad thoughts, like negative thoughts, depression, are black. And they're like these squiggly little people, like really like Slender Man almost, but like wigglier. And they live in the crevices of your brain. So there's in there crawling around, so you can reach in with tweezers and pull them out, and then just take them out of the crevices until there's a wiggly little thing, and then you put them in a box and you close the box after you pull them all out when your head feels clean, and then you lock the box, you tie it up, and then you put the box somewhere physically. Like, I do it a lot while I'm oh, I sound crazy. If I do it while I'm hiking and I'm visualizing it, I will take the box of thoughts that I just took out, and I'll set them down, and then I'll walk away from them, and I swear my head feels clear. It just works for me. I don't know. Let's balance out the creepy with something sweet. I have a daily reminder on my phone, 7 a.m. every day. If you can see that. It's a little prayer hands emoji and a heart, and it's just a reminder every single day at 7 a.m. So whenever I wake up, to be grateful and say thank you to God and the universe, and just count your blessings. That really helped me through my roughest times, forcing myself every day to be like, be grateful, you're alive, you have a lot, you have great people in your life, you're in a career you love, you have opportunities that people can only dream of. And then it would at least take me out of that for at least a moment every day, a moment of my life is good. That was a cute one. And I'm gonna end on that note. Please leave in the comments if you have experienced any of these, if you relate to any of these, if you do any of these. I want to hear your confessions, honestly. Like this video if you haven't, subscribe and turn on notifications. This is this week's showstopper of the week. Thank you so much for being so supportive. As always, I love you very much. Thanks for being a part of my family, and I'll see you next time.